2, 1. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, live.
Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun Daily Dish. Boy, we've had some technical glitches this morning, haven't we? My gosh. And it's always on the mornings when I have everything set up so perfect and ready to go. And then I had something on in the background from what I was watching, Daredevil and Punisher, and which is what today's show is about. But there dropped an F-bomb, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to take that off and redo the whole thing. So I apologize for that very glitchy start, but that's what was going on, and I just want to make sure that this is a clean family show. And so I had to quickly delete that off YouTube completely and restart everything. And by the way, there's a lot to do when you're setting up a show like this. So welcome in, everybody. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day. Let's see who all is out there so far. And I apologize. I'm sure that there are people that went, oh my gosh, the stream isn't happening. So they just went away completely. Hopefully they'll find it again. So please share this out on your social medias, like the stream if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, check that you are still subscribed, because there are YouTube glitches going on there as well. And click that notification bell, because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm and you get notified of all of our uploads that will hopefully be proper and clean here at Follow the Bradley's Fun. Oh my goodness gracious. And also, let's see. Yes, see who all's in the chat, looking at some good faces there. And yes, I indeed do hope that you all are having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day, today, as the recording of this, is the 16th day of October 2024. And we have some big breaking news to talk about. And Erica, you probably didn't get the invitation. I tried to send it to you. But if you want to jump on the show, on or off camera, that is fine. I tried to send it to you, and I think I'm going to, let's see if I can do this again, because it said, I don't think it went through. We'll try it again. And let's see. So yes, if you want to join me, you're more than welcome to join me. Let's see who all we have in here today. Little Mouse 27 says hello again. And so and I know that Lorena is also out there. I think she's doing a live stream from the parks. So if you're switching back and forth between us, that's fine. Or and then, of course, we are also going to redirect this to Culture Casino's 6-minute daily. So, so yes, she is out at the park. I am here in my studio. There is just so much going on and some breaking news. So Little Mouse 27 says, hey again. Tom F says, hey all, going Shogi. Thank you so much. Good morning. Hanging with Erica and Raph. I just sent you the message on X, so hopefully you'll get that. And if you want to jump on. Morning, Ron, do you have a song request? I'm not sure what that means. Exactly, Mr. Fulton Moran. Did you want to sing something for me? I don't know how we do that here. Yes, afternoon, go and choky. Afternoon, everybody. And then Nita Seabolt Salt came in. Good morning, Nita. How are you? How are the things going? I know that you've been attending funerals this week for people in North Carolina. It is so hard there. Please, guys, donate to Samaritan's Purse. What happened to the stream? As I started, I was still running some stuff from, I think it's Punisher that I'm on right now, and there was some, I heard the bad words, and I looked at my mic, and I'm like, uh-oh, hot mic, bad words from Punisher. I don't want that on the screen, on the stream. So I'm like, I immediately went, uh-oh, flagged it, took it down myself so YouTube doesn't have to, and then had to redo everything to make it work here today. So I apologize for that. But that is what happened. So hello to everybody, and I'm glad people are indeed coming back in. And while people are coming back in, I think it is very, very important that we show we have, in fact, a celebration. Now, if you're new to the channel and maybe you're watching this on the replay and you're coming in and hopefully you've hit the like button and all that stuff, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, share this out on all your social medias. Please also, if you're watching the replay, either comment below replay gang or just any comment, leave a comment before you head out the door. I like to let people know that we are a very celebratory channel, and I'm working on new celebrations, so those are coming up. But in the meantime, we do like to celebrate all of you, and when we do that, that celebration is, well, I mean, if you become a member, if we have super chat, super thanks, super stickers, memberships dropped, PayPal's dropped, any of those types of things during the stream, then you're going to see this celebration. Here we go.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I will go so crazy.
Just seems to me that he might be a pretty decent guy, I must say. Oh my goodness, we do love the celebration. Oh my goodness, and look at this, look at this. Thank you so much, Nita. Good job. Be keeping it family fun. Yes, yeah. When I heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I immediately have to stop this and restart. And so there's a process to that. So I grab my cell phone, throw the stream back up on StreamYard. That means finding the right description, finding the right title, finding the right thumbnail, all of those things I pre-save just in case this kind of thing happens. So I throw them up together, have to put a new start time, all that on StreamYard. Then I have to go over and make sure everything's correct on YouTube. It's a process. It is. I will tell you, it's funny to me. The people that don't do. You're very welcome. Thanks for the kind words and prayers over the last few weeks. My boys are starting to lift. Still sad in Western North Carolina. Love you all. We got so fortunate here with Milton that it didn't hit as hard here as it could have. But I know I'm praying for North Carolina and everybody that's been affected there. But yeah, people that really aren't into doing YouTube, I had no clue. They don't have a clue. If you're doing it, once you start doing it, you start to realize just how much work is actually involved. And I have a guest who's going to come on in just a minute, and she's going to tell you just how much work is actually involved, because you don't start discovering that until you start doing it, and the hours that it takes and the editing and all that. Especially now, there are premium channels that have whole teams in place that do all the editing and stuff. Oh, your blues are starting to lift. I see that. Thank you, Nita. But yeah, so they have all of that, in place. And I'm just a single one-man operation. My wife does help from time to time, obviously. She is not on the stream this morning because she's in a conference at school with Xander's teachers and stuff. So she's doing a parent conference for me. But speaking of not being alone and having some help out there, thank goodness we YouTubers love each other and help each other. I am inviting to the stage Miss Erica from Erica and Raf. Welcome in this morning, Erica.
Wow.
Or this afternoon. How are you doing?
Well, I'm technically on Eastern time, so
I know you always say that, but you're living in Germany.
I know my body clock is like, I went to bed like 4 a.m. here, which is like what, 10 p.m. back home. And then I woke up at 11. I cleaned the kitchen, had to take care of some, we'll say financial house business.
That's not very much sleep. That's only like 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah. So I actually take a medication for insomnia. That's actually the real reason. And it'll let me sleep for about 7 hours, and then I'm just up. At 7 hours, I just wake up, and then I just start my day. So I'm just in this weird cycle, but it works. I like my little schedule I'm on.
if I don't take my like melatonin and my stuff to get sleep, so when the hurricane happened, when Milton happened here last week, I just didn't. I knew that that the storm was coming overnight, and I wanted to vlog as much of it as possible. I wanted to capture as much as possible on video, and all I did was simply not take the normal stuff that I take to get to sleep, and that's it. I was up all night, no issue whatsoever. So, yeah, and then the worst part of it is some of that stuff affects my energies during the day, and I'm not super happy about that. It's like, man, I don't want to end up like Elvis. I'm already puffy like him, and I'm 10 years older than he was when he died. So,
yeah, I'm also on another medication to help me perk me up during the day.
So yeah, I would probably be so much of an insomniac if I didn't have melatonin helping me out. I suppose I could just eat a turkey dinner every night. Would that do it? What's the stuff in turkey? Is it melatonin or is it something else that's in turkey that supposedly makes you go to sleep?
I forgot the name of the hormone. It's like a hormone turkey. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, you get that like Thanksgiving nap. Then you wake up and you're ready for pie and cake.
Yeah, all good. Or definitely pie and cake in your case, as we talked about the other day. Tryptophan, that's it. Tryptophan, yes. Yes, indeed. Go and Shogi. So once again, thank you so much, Nita, This is awesome. Was a great way to start the show. And just because I didn't catch that until we were in the middle of the last celebration, I have the short celebration that we are going to do for that right now.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect!
This is just the best of us see. There we go. And the Going Shogi says I'd need to eat 2 whole turkeys to get enough to make you sleepy. I think that I think vomiting from the 2 turkeys would probably not make me that sleepy. One time I haven't drank alcohol since I turned 21. Since when I was 21 years old is when I stopped drinking. Primarily because when I was 21, I was single, I was on my own, had my own place, and I remember the morning that it happened. I don't remember the date, but I remember why it happened. At the time, I was listening to a lot of Tony Robbins and how to make your life improve and stuff, and he was young too. I was young at the time, and I was just evaluating things, as far as life was concerned. And so in that evaluation, one morning I woke up, I'm 21 years old, everything's legal for me. I grab I don't remember, I think it was maybe the afternoon, and I grabbed a Corona out of the fridge. I had a 6-pack of Corona, and I started to drink it, and I realized I don't like the way this tastes. And then I thought back to all the alcohol I'd ever drank, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever liked the way any alcohol tastes. So I started to think through what are the benefits of drinking this stuff ever for me, and I couldn't think of any. For example, social benefits. Some people it loosens up, and I'm like, no, I'm an idiot anyway. I'll be loose no matter what, so it doesn't matter for me. And I just couldn't think of any benefits, and so I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm ever going to drink again. And I threw the 6-pack out, threw that beer out, threw the 6-pack out, and took it outside to the garbage dump. Actually, threw it in there and said, you know what? I'm never going to do this again. And that was it.
So for me, it will relax me, actually help me sleep, but I'm not alcohol. My sleep aid, that's not good.
Yeah, and that's why I brought that story up, is because before that, one Thanksgiving, I actually drank like a whole bottle of wine, and I went to sleep. And I was like 18 or something, 19 at the time. And I was at my family's house, and nobody cared. But it was like,
yeah, well, some wines taste like candy, and you just keep going back for more, and you don't realize
it didn't taste good. I was just it didn't taste good. I didn't like my sister's boyfriend, and she was visiting.
Never mind.
Seriously. So yeah, it's no benefits. Look up Jan Michael Vincent. Oh man, indeed. So I wasn't talking about anything before as far as subject wise. We're just doing introductions and stuff, so no big deal there. What we are talking about today, first and foremost, we have to talk about the breaking news from this morning. And let me see if I can share this properly on a screen. Yes, and this is right out of Disney directly. Okay. So let me put this on. There we go. All right. So this is coming to Disney parks. Now, we knew that this was coming. It had been rumored for a while. Good morning, Sue, from the Bud Files. But the company that touts inclusion, a word that they define very narrowly because it's not, they don't define it at all what the word actually would mean, but they have made another extremely exclusive thing, and that is the Premier Pass Lightning Lane. And this is actually on their website. This is the Disneyland website, I believe.
Is this their version of what Universal does?
Yes. So the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, except I'm gonna talk about how the biggest way it's tremendously different and almost the opposite of what Universal does. So their Lightning Lane Premiere Pass, it says, and this is on the Disneyland website because I don't think they put it up on the Disney World website yet. But this says a convenient way to save time in line. Lightning Lane Premiere Pass allows one-time entry to each available Lightning Lane experience in both of the Disneyland Resort theme parks to enjoy at your leisure that day. Valid park admission is required, subject to very limited availability. Beginning October 23rd, 2024, at the Disneyland Resort, we will begin piloting the rollout of Lightning Lane Premiere Pass with very limited qualities. Now, this is what it says. This is from their own website, and that's why I wanted to read this first from the Disneyland website. Again, I don't believe they have this at the Disney World website yet at the time of this recording. Get one-time entry to each available Lightning Lane attraction for one day, including top attractions available with Lightning Lane single pass, subject to limited availability. Ride the Lightning Lane attractions you want when you want. You don't have to choose a specific arrival time. Now, this part is nice that they include this with it. It basically includes what we call the memory maker. Enjoy photo perks. Get unlimited downloads of Disney Photo Pass digital photos from your day, plus unlock Disney Photo Pass lenses. So that is what we would normally call a memory maker. And I think at Disney World, when you buy that for the day, it's somewhere around $70 for a single day or something like that. And it's $199 for your entire vacation, I believe, unless they've changed the pricing on that. But yeah, that's so one thing they've done with this is include the memory maker. But I want to go to all of the pricing breakdowns on what they're doing here. So we're gonna switch tabs. Just seeing that, Erica, what are your initial thoughts?
I have questions more than thoughts. Is there going to be a third lane for this, or is it going to?
As far as I can tell right now, it's not a third lane. It just allows you access to the Lightning lanes that are already there. So you're going to get in line with the people that paid a lot less, but you're not going to have to pre-program your particular time. But
so
I don't
still
know.
have to wait in the Lightning lane lane.
You still have, as far as I can tell, they have not. See, and my idea actually for this was to do something very much like this, but to make a fast pass lane. So there would be kind of 3 lanes, but the Premier Pass Lightning Lane, or what I would have called it Lightning Lane, Fast Pass, and regular lane. Fast Pass for me would have been something that any guest could get on the day of their visit, and only 3. And once you picked them, they were locked in and you couldn't change them. And it's free, but it would be free, and they would have a special queue for that. I don't know how you do it. But then the Lightning Lane, the Premier Pass, the thing that they're setting up right now, it would be different, but so limited that the special queue area wouldn't need to be long at all. That's kind of the whole idea of this type of an upgrade. For as much as it's going to cost, oh my gosh, wait till you get to the cost breakdown.
Okay, so that's my next question. Is this going to be a separate cost from the already Lightning Lane that you purchase? Or is this going to replace what they have in place now?
Yeah, so this is replacing. Well, okay, so the current Lightning Lane as they have it will continue to be available, right? The
like
multi-pass. So they're gonna have single rider or single attraction Lightning Lane. They will have the Lightning Lane multi-pass. And then they have the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. So, yeah, if you don't know the different titles, they're all Lightning Lane. It's so convoluted. So let's read how they're doing this. Okay, so this is out of Disney Tourist blog by Tom Bricker. Breaking pricey Lightning Lane Premier Pass at Disney World announced. Now, this is just announced this morning. And this is going to be on the Walt Disney World side. Walt Disney World officially announced a Lightning Lane Premier Pass, the newest and most expensive line skipping service to replace free Fast Pass. This post covers the launch date and price ranges for the upcharge option at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, plus our commentary how this compares to Universal's Express Pass, potential popularity, and more. A lot of ground to cover here. So we're going to go very quickly. And I'll probably cover this more on tomorrow's show because this broke this morning, so I didn't really have time to research it. And honestly, I had a whole different subject in mind for today's show, which we're going to get to in just a moment. But let's get to a couple things. So the big change with the switch from Genie Plus to Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Single Passes, guests could now make ride reservations up to 21 days in advance, blah, 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 do all that. So what's the Premier Pass all about in addition to those things? Let me just scroll down here. Some of the added perks of Lightning Lane Premier Pass include all attractions from Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Single Pass. Guests can ride the attractions they want when they want. And Lightning Lane Premier Pass will include PhotoPass photos and video downloads. So basically memory maker for the day. Walt Disney World will begin piloting Lightning Lane Premier Pass on October 30th. So a week after Disneyland. But here's one big major thing. And I don't know about Disneyland, but Disney World. At launch, Lightning Lane Premier Pass will be available to purchase only by guests staying at deluxe resorts
I'm sorry, repeat
deluxe
that.
villa resorts. At launch, Lightning Lane Premier Pass will be available to purchase only by guests staying at deluxe resorts or deluxe villa resorts. So,
So this is only
available.
So it's not available to any visiting
Not
guests.
available to the general public. It's only available to those staying at the Grand Floridian, Polynesian, Contemporary, Animal Kingdom. There's a few other deluxe villa resorts like the DVC resorts. I would assume because it's DVC now. I don't know if it's this or not. Maybe if you're staying at the cabins at Fort Wilderness, I don't know if that's included or not. But doesn't really matter. Let's get to the price range because this is where it gets crazy. Prices for Lightning Lane Premier Passes vary by date and theme park. Launch prices will range from $129 to $449 per person plus tax.
Per person per day, not per vacation.
Per person per day. With the highest prices falling on a limited number of days over peak travel periods. Here are the ranges for each park. Animal Kingdom, $129 to $199 per person. So a party of four could be $800 more per day. Epcot, $170 to $250 per person. So that's party of four up to $1,000 more per day. Disney's Hollywood Studios, $270 to $350, and they have fewer attractions than anywhere.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So that adds up to $1,400 per day per person. But get this, at the Magic Kingdom, $330 to $450, basically $329 to $449 per person plus tax per day. So $1,800 a day extra for you.
They expect people to finance this on top of what they're already financing for vacation and just tickets.
No, and well, here's the thing. You might know this is similar in scope to Universal's Express Pass.
Right? Well, and at least with Universal, when you stay at their deluxe resorts, this perk is included.
Exactly. So that's where this is the opposite. This is the opposite of Universal's Express Pass. Express Pass is available to everybody. Okay, and it does
people to go Universal.
Yeah, it does cost that much, by the way. I mean, I went for an Express Pass. Hello? Oh. Erica, take the show for just a minute. I gotta deal with something over here.
Okay. Hang on a second. Let me see the comments. Okay, so here are my thoughts. I don't know how much the Universal Express passes are. I haven't looked them up in a hot minute, but I know this perk you can get by staying at a deluxe resort because we've looked into it. That's insane. I mean, people already do finance Disney vacations, but could you imagine financing, a deluxe resort for maybe about 4 or 5 days, your park tickets, meals if you want the meal plan, and then this? There's no way people are gonna be willing to finance that much.
That was funny. Maintenance just showed up. So anybody that was watching this show yesterday or the pro show might know that we've got a lot of maintenance going on right now. They just showed up to replace the toilet in the bathroom of the room that I'm using right now during the show. And our maintenance never calls to text or like
Yeah,
schedules anything. They just show up.
I'm reading, Siebold's Salt, their, comment there, and 15,000 bucks could pay for kids' college, and let's put that into perspective here because our son is 21 and we're actually in the current enrollment process for him to go to Hillsborough Community College, which is there in Tampa, because we're still legally Florida residents. And the tuition for him to take 4 classes, which is full time at the Florida tuition rate for Florida resident, is only about $1,300 in
Wow.
total. That's just tuition, that's not including books. And I mean, for our income, for our household, at least while we're overseas, because we do get paid some overseas pay to compensate for being out here, and it's an incentive for being out here. We can relatively afford that without financial aid. And now
Yeah.
this, I mean, when a college education is cheaper. I mean, granted, this is just community college. He's just getting his toes wet. It's not like he's going for we're not applying for medical school or anything of that, nature. But still, it's when you put it into perspective, you'd
Do you know
rather
that
put the
there's
money into a college fund. Why?
did you know that there's no discounts for cast members for any of this type of stuff for the lightning lanes or any of that kind?
I'm
It's so
I'm not surprised
ridiculous.
to hear that. One of my teens that was out here, who I ministered to, she was on the college program. She lasted, I think, like 1 semester. She came back, hated it. She's like, "I will never work for Disney again." And, um, I'm not gonna repeat her experience, but, basically well, I mean,
I
her
was a
story was
cast
about not
member. I know
knowing.
the experience.
Uh,
See?
and it wasn't just the company, it was the roommates that she had. It
Oh
was just an
gosh.
insane amount of drama with
Well,
yeah,
there's the type of people that the company
um,
attracts, especially today, even more than in the past. It's gotten
I
far
know, Nita
far worse.
says, "Yeah, you could put
So
your son through grad school with the Disney money." Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
geez, um yeah, when you put it into practicality, a vacation at the end of the day is a luxury. It's just, to escape from everyday life and just have some R&R time from the daily grind. And Disney isn't the only show in town for a vacation or even a
No.
Florida vacation.
Well,
Growing up in Florida, we went to the beach every year. We never really went to Disney or the theme parks.
I mean,
You
there's a
know,
lot of other things to do. So there's, Lou
yeah.
Gardens and all kinds of things. But I wanted to bring this into perspective in the fact that if you go to Universal, and you mentioned this, if you're staying in a deluxe resort at Universal, the Express Pass is a free perk. So let's
Mhm.
say that it's normally $350 per day per person for an Express Pass, which is about what it was. I think it was almost like $379 when I went there and checked on it when I was with my sister. We ended up going and doing single rider line all day long versus Express Pass, and we got in everything we wanted to for free. Well,
Mhm.
the cost of tickets, but anyway, so we got in there. My point is this: so you're paying 1,100 a night for Grand Floridian. You're paying 150 a day per person for the park tickets. So let's say there's 4 of you. So now 1,100 and then 600 more. So now you're at 1,700 for the day, and you want to get on all the rides, and but you're staying at the Grand Floridian, which should be a perk. It would be a perk if you were at Universal to do this for free, but now you're paying another $1,800 on top of these $1,700 per day. So even if you were only staying 3 days, that vacation is going to cost you nearly 10 grand for just 3 days at Grand Floridian. I mean, it is. If you have that much money, I would think you would be wise enough that you're probably going to spend it, hopefully more intelligently than that, because that's crazy. I mean, why not just do a VIP tour at this point? You'll get
just come overseas and see a country and see a different culture,
right,
food, language, the real deal, not, some, counterfeit of
I
what
know
we
it.
have over here in Europe. And I'll put it another into perspective here. My older sister and her family came to visit us last year, and they're a family of 5. Now, granted, they didn't have to pay for a hotel. The only thing they had to pay for was their airline tickets and a car rental. And their airline tickets, according to her, were in the 4,000. So it was just in the $4,000 range to fly 5 of them over here round trip. But I mean, when you have family, and you don't have to fork out, a hotel on top of, and it compounds, for them, it was doable.
Right.
And they stayed for Christmas, and they still afforded Christmas gifts, because they
Well, and
literally stayed for Christmas. And the
there's also
rental,
ways to get overseas tickets, flights for much cheaper depending on the time of the year you
and
go. You don't find a lot.
and then the airlines partner with these companies, a firm where you can make payments. That's how we fly into town. We have got a good rapport with a firm, and American Airlines is partnered with them. So it's easy for us to book through American Airlines and then just take out basically a loan through a firm, and then we pay monthly. And we usually just pay it off early. But in the initial booking, so I'm not shelling out the money all at once to the airline. I will do a firm, and then when we get back home from vacation, we just pay it off, faster and full. But we just were able to make heavier payments, and then it's paid off in no time.
Cool.
But I mean,
So,
there's like workarounds like that, depending on your budget and your finances.
Go overseas, enjoy yourself. So much more you could do with that amount of money. You're absolutely right. I'm probably going to follow up on this tomorrow and really try to dive deeper into the whole new lightning lane thing. But it just broke this morning, and I haven't had enough time to really research it. So I want to go on to the next story that we have here. And real quick, before we do that, I think Go and Shogi also dropped a super chat. So there's Nita. Thank you so much, Nita. And then thank you also so much, Go and Shogi, for the $1.99 super chat. This cost comes with a closed Big Thunder Mountain. You're right. No, you're going to pay that cost. You're not
more money.
Yep, less attractions, more money. So for those, we have to do our celebration. So we're going to do the long celebration, and then we'll get to the final story today. Let's celebrate.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, that's too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, anticipation. It's making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
seems to me that he must be a pretty decent guy, I must say. I've heard that Pat Sajak actually has a place in Golden Oak, but I don't know if that's true or not. It may be. I think I know he sometimes does the processional. I think Pat Sajak's done the thing at Epcot before. But I want to move on to this, and this is Marvel TV. I'm going to spend a lot less time on it than I was initially intending to. But out of that Park Place, out of thatparkplace.com. And if you're not checking out That Park Place, please do. That should be bookmarked. This is by John F. Trent. Agatha All Along viewership drops 33%. It is already worse than The Acolyte, which is bad. I didn't watch The Acolyte. Viewership for Marvel Studios' latest Disney Plus show, Agatha All Along, reportedly declined by 33% from its second week to its third week. And the show is also getting worse as you go along, too. So, data firm Illuminate reported that for the week of September 27th to October 3rd, Agatha All Along only managed to bring in 204 million viewers, which was good enough for 10th place on the company's top 10 streaming originals for television chart. Of note, Agatha All Along releases new episodes on Wednesday nights and Illuminate tracks from Friday to Thursday. So the show's first episode did not chart in its first week and its first full week on the chart. The show only brought in 304.7 million minutes watched. For comparison, The Acolyte, which released new episodes on Tuesdays, had a first week gain that garnered 380.5 million minutes watched, according to Illuminate. It's in its second week, the show dropped to 262 million minutes. Based on minutes watched, the show performed nearly 20% worse in its first week compared to The Acolyte. It performed even worse than when looking at the second full week for each show. It dropped over 22%. So that is Agatha All Along. It's not a great show. It has a very niche. It's aiming towards a niche audience. It introduces some very obscure characters that some people get very excited about. Well, not even introduced, actually, because one of the characters, I think, is Billy Maximoff, which is Wanda's son, and we're going to try to figure out what he's doing there after he was disappeared and played by a whole different actor, by the way. And both Doctor Strange 2 and WandaVision. So Billy Maximoff has already been played by a different actor, and I think much better than. I don't really like this actor that's playing him, but that's just me. That's an opinion, so it doesn't really matter. But this is the state of Marvel TV now. And because this is the state of Marvel TV now, I have been watching something else. And if you saw the thumbnail, you saw what I've been watching. Now, I don't know, Erica, have you ever seen any of the Marvel Netflix shows? They were running about 10 years ago. What?
I mean, when my sister came into town last Christmas, she forced me to watch. I forgot what the shows were.
So on Netflix, and they're on Disney Plus now, they were Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Punisher, and The Defenders. And The Defenders included all of the heroes except for The Punisher. If you're rewatching Daredevil, seasons 1, 2, and 3, you kind of have to watch The Defenders, because The Defenders is kind of like season 2.5 of Daredevil, if you will, because it's part of his ongoing story in the series. But this was, as it says here, Netflix's Daredevil is the Marvel universe at its darkest and best. And this is not that old of an article. This article was not written during the time that the series was out. This article happened to be written in 2022. The show's resurgence in popularity only shows how good it still is. It was an excellent show. And here, this is out of Thrillist. This is Emma Stefanski, I believe that is, and it was written in January of 2022. And I won't go into all this because of the things that are going on here today. But with the advent of Disney Plus, the streaming service that houses everything popular under the popular, that's questionable, under the Disney umbrella, we were treated to a new era of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one that would play out on television while the tentpole movies dominated the theaters. I don't miss the only one that dominated the theaters so far since Disney Plus was Deadpool and Wolverine recently. So WandaVision, The Falcon, Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye filled in the blanks between Shang-Chi, Spider-Man. This isn't written very well, but that's beside the point. Setting up storylines with the luxury of multiple episodes that would culminate in later movies, but these shows aren't the first to play out their dramas in the MCU. And now that at least one of those, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, is back in the conversation, we're reminded of a grungier, riskier era of Marvel entertainment that wasn't overly in thrall to the whims of a corporate-owned shared universe. When Disney ended their deal with Netflix and moved their content over to their new streaming service, and Netflix was obliged to discontinue their series of shows based on Marvel comic characters loosely set within the MCU: Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, The Punisher, the ensemble crossover, The Defenders. All these shows, with the exception of Iron Fist, which, despite its fantastic cast, bore the unfortunate burden of white main character in an East Asian influenced world, even though that's his character in the comic books, were well received. That's not the reason it was not well received. It wasn't well received because it just wasn't that great of a show. Were gathered rabid fan bases told the kinds of grounded, serious, and oftentimes severe stories that the MCU films shy away from in favor of keeping things family friendly. Obviously, Deadpool, Wolverine, not family friendly. But the point that I wanted to make with these shows is I'm rewatching them now, and I'm going to have to kind of break today's show up into some bigger shows here so I can stay on the topic a little bit longer, is that when you watch especially season 1 of Daredevil, you're pulled into the story right away. It's so intriguing. It's grounded. It feels like it could really happen in real life. That's the weirdest thing about Daredevil. You're like, especially season 1, before he gets the costume, you're like, you know what? I could actually see somebody, if they really had this type of skill, because they honed all of their senses after losing their blindness. Obviously, it's a little bit larger than life, but it was so grounded. And the Kingpin by Vincent D'Onofrio, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, is the best MCU villain, better than Thanos, better than any other, and better than Loki. Honestly, in my opinion, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin for Daredevil season 1, 2, and 3 is the best Disney MCU villain. Now, what Disney's going to do with him is probably going to nerf him a lot from what he was. But I mean, when I don't know if you've seen this part, Erica, and this is a spoiler for Daredevil season 1, but you are introduced to a vicious person in Kingpin when you see that one of the other villains that he is working with in the series tries to meet with him in a public place while he's on a date with Vanessa, who he falls in love with. Well, he meets back up with this villain who interrupted his date, and simply because he interrupted his date, has the car pulled over in a place that's a very non-public place, so there's nobody around, and he comes around to this villain's side of the back door, opens the back door, shoves his head in the back door, and starts crushing it with the car door. It is disgusting. It is incredibly violent, and you are introduced to a real villain that will actually do some truly violent things. And when you're an adult watching a hero versus villain story, it's the kind of thing that just pulls you in, because you do not see this in the regular MCU. And if you're not a gore person, if you can't stand the gore, I don't recommend it. But it's done in a way that you're like, okay, I can maybe look away from the screen for this part and then look back to see the story, and it just really, really pulls you in. What did you see of it? You said when your sister visited.
I can't remember what the shows were because they bored me.
Oh, well, I don't. If you're, I don't see how you could be bored by Daredevil season 1
I don't think
when the
it was
first
that
thing.
one. Doesn't sound familiar. It was.
Okay,
I
it
know
might
we
have been
watched.
Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones can be boring at times for sure. Iron Fist, definitely. But Daredevil season 1, the first thing he does, the first act that you see Daredevil do is rescue girls from human traffickers. And I should say that I had the
I think
same
we
type of
watched
a role.
Loki. Loki was one that we
Oh,
watched.
no, that's not a Netflix series.
Oh,
That's
you're
from
talking.
that.
I'm thinking Disney Plus. Sorry, we didn't do
No, no,
Netflix. It
no.
was on Disney Plus. Oh, never mind.
These
Then
shows
yeah.
are now on. These Netflix shows are now on Disney Plus. So you
Okay,
can
then
watch them
maybe.
from Disney Plus, but they are not Disney Plus shows. They are Netflix Marvel series, but they're loosely in the MCU. They're technically in the MCU now because Matt Cox's Daredevil is in the MCU. But yeah, I would love to go into more detail on why I'm really enjoying these. But we've got to get off here. I'm going to send everybody over to Culture. I want to thank Erica for being here today.
Thanks for
And
having.
thank Nita so much. Thank Go and Shogi so much. I appreciate you guys doing that. That really helps out the show and helps us to keep everything going. Keep the lights on, and apparently helps keep the toilets getting changed and the air conditioner getting changed out. I wish I could show you pictures of those things. Maybe I'll do that on the next few shows. It's funny because it's all happened since the hurricane. But let's do one more miniature little celebration for that. And then I've got a new outro with all of the updated.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect!
This is just the best of us seeing. Indeed. Thank you so much, Erica, for being here today. Thank you, everybody who's out there watching. And there, my wife just popped in. Thank you. Hi, baby. We've got maintenance going on, and maintenance came in, and so they're gonna just let you know, since you're on here, they're switching out the toilet in the back bathroom here in just a few minutes. They'll probably be back. So that's why I'm kind of rushing to get off the show today. This show will send you over to Culture Casino if you want to see the Magic Kingdom live right now. Lorena Creole is over at the Magic Kingdom live, so you can go to that. And as far as I'm concerned, well, Erica, Virginia, myself, all of us, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.